Okay, third grade, you know the drill. As soon as you get a piece of paper, I need you to grab a pencil and write your name. Make sure it is big enough and legible enough that I can read it. Okay, we're going to flip your paper over and you're going to start tracing your hands. I want you to hold your pencil straight up and down. And if your hand goes off the page and you need to draw connecting lines for your arm or wrist, that's totally okay. Take your time, don't go too fast with these. Try to avoid mistakes. That's from my ring, but if you get a bump like that, you can just erase it later. I want you to go all the way around your paper and have your fingers and hands overlap. We're going to do a bunch of these. I also think that switching hands is okay if you wanted to have a few of your other hand in there. It'll be a little bit harder if you're not using your dominant hand, but it's easy enough that I know you guys can do it. Try to have it as close to your fingers as possible. Since you're third graders, I know that you could do it very neatly. And just keep going all the way around the paper and have your fingers overlap a lot. Start with one hand on each side of the paper. So I did this, then I turned, and then I did this, and then I turned, and then I did another one. So now I'm gonna do one here. I'm going to, let's see, I wanna fill in some space. So maybe I wanna go like this. So at least start with 4 hands. And then we're going to look at your papers and see where we can fill in some space. So I have a lot of space right here and right here, but this is getting pretty crowded, so I probably don't want to do any more right here. Let's do a hand, and I don't even have to do my whole hand. I could have like some fingers off to the side like this. If you need to go back and fix anything, you can. I keep bumping my ring. I don't think you guys will have that problem, but you might. Okay, I'll do that again over here. Have my fingers like this. There we go. I'll do one more finger. Right here. There. And even though this space is filled in, I'm gonna do a few more fingers right here so I have more overlapping. If you are unsure if you need to keep going, just raise your hand and the sub can tell you. But the more you draw, the more work we're gonna have, which is not a bad thing. I still want you to work. But everywhere it overlaps, we are going to color it a little bit differently. And I'll show you what I mean after we do the next step, which is tracing our lines with Sharpie. Now, you guys are third graders. I shouldn't have to tell you we're not drawing on our skin, we're not drawing on clothes, we're especially not drawing on other people's skin or other people's clothes. If you get a little bit on the table, don't freak out. Don't try to get it on the table. But if you get a little bit on the table on accident, it's okay. So very neatly, very slowly, trace your lines as best as you can. I'm going to speed up the video so you can see what the next step is. Okay, I traced my hands. There's still some pencil lines. So I'm going to go in with a big eraser and erase. You guys will have big erasers. I only have my mechanical pencil eraser today. So, you know, kind of stinks for me. But luckily you guys have the nice big erasers, so that'll make this go a lot faster for you. Okay, when you're completely done with your Sharpie, we do not need them anymore. Make sure that the cap is all the way on and you put the Sharpie away. Next, we're gonna get out your colored pencils. Now, you guys might have been taught to shade with colored pencils already by your last teacher. You might not have been. Either way, I want you to pay attention and see how I want you to do it in my classroom. So you are going to pick one of these shapes and start coloring very lightly. I think I'm going to start with, let's see, let's go with this area right here, okay? So I'm going in very lightly with my colored pencil. I'm kind of going in a circular motion and just going over it like this. Very, very light hand, all right? We're not pressing down hard. We're making sure everything is completely filled in. So I'm going around my edges, okay? Now I want you to choose one side of the shape. It doesn't matter if it's this one or whatever. Just choose one side. And we're going to press down harder with our colored pencil. I'm still doing that circular motion. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe it looks like I'm going up and down. I'm going to press hard on this end. And then as I move away from the end, I'm going to not press as hard. I'm not having as much pressure. So by the time I get over here, I'm doing it as lightly as I did before. So pressing hard over here. And then as I move away from that line, I am lifting up my pencil. I'm not pressing down as hard. I'm not having as much pressure. So now, because the lines are intersecting, whatever is next to this orange is not going to be orange. I'm going to have a different color. So let's just go right here. I'm going to show you with a bigger area. Let me choose. This one will work. Okay. So here's my next area. I'm just going to fill it in very carefully, very lightly with my little circular motion that you guys can see. This way everything is colored evenly. Going to fill in the entire area very lightly. And then I have the rest of the hand to do. I might not show that on video. It will get done, but just fill in this big area first. I'm going to have this side of whatever I color be the darker side. So that means that not only am I shading over here, I'm pressing down hard here, the same way we did earlier. So pressing down hard as I can at this edge. And then as I move away, I am lightening the pressure or easing up on the pressure. I'm also going to do it on the next finger because this is still the same space. So pressing down hard, as I move away, I'm drawing more lightly. All right, and you can go back, make these areas super dark, and then do it again. And then just gradually get back to how it was here, where it's super duper light. So this will take some time. I don't expect you guys to get done in one day, but this is very important practice for future projects, not only in this grade, but also as you continue through school, so 4th and 5th grade and 6th grade art, okay? You have to know how to shade with colored pencil. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this space so that way you can see. Okay, this portion of that hand is done. It's really, really light over here. And then as we start to move in this direction, things get a lot darker. So I've already used these 3 colors. I can use them again. I just can't use them right next to each other. So this isn't gonna be that same teal. I'm probably going to do a green. And like I said, you can have the shading start in any direction. So just because everything goes dark on this side doesn't mean I have to have it be dark on this side of this shape. But I want you to fill the entire hand. I don't want any white spaces. Okay, we can have light spaces because it's very light over here, but that is it. Okay, your entire paper should be filled. Now, your hand might start to hurt. You're gonna be okay. You will survive. I will say, don't shake out your wrist like this because you're gonna hurt your wrist even more, I promise. Just do a little stretch, okay? Not hard, not dramatic. I don't know if you heard that pop, but it did. But take your time. Like I said, we're not going to get this finished in one class period. If you do, it means you probably did it wrong. So try your best, take your time, show me the very best that you can do, because I need to know exactly what I'm working with. So I will show you what that looks like when it's all completely done, so you have an example. Okay, this is what my finished artwork looks like. Yours should look something like this. You might run into the problem of like, oh, I have to put two colors that are the same next to each other. It's okay if you need to, but try to avoid it if possible. I really like how this turned out, and I'm excited to see how you guys tackle this project. I'm gonna leave this here so you can look at it as a reference while I'm gone. And I hope you give it your all, and I know you'll do great. So, see ya.